Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Red Tool House. Today the boys and I are going to, we need some more fencing for our garden because yesterday we noticed that something is getting our plants, our tomatoes and watermelon plants, that looks like it may be a rabbit. So we need to go down and get some chicken wire, is what Troy told us to do, to add to the bottom of our fencing. So we started out with tall fencing, and I'll show you that, and we left space at the bottom because we were thinking that the biggest predator was the deer eating our plants, and so we thought, well, let's make it high enough that they're not going to be able to jump over. And so something is still getting in. So I was just going to show you some of the plants that have been eaten, and you can go with us to get the fencing. So here is our fencing, and you'll see that it's raised about a foot off the ground here, which allows small animals to get in, but we weren't thinking that that would be our biggest issue. So yesterday we noticed that this is one of our watermelon plants here, and they've been chomping on that quite a bit. I've got a whole tomato plant that's just gone. And the only thing that was left is the stick. And we've got a few of the tomato plants that have just been, looks like they're just broken. Like here's one. And so I guess something has chomped that. It's just holding on by a thread and is getting all wilted. And we do know that we have had deer in here before we got the fencing up, and since we've got the fencing up, we've not had as much damage. So we're thinking that we need to protect against the rabbits or whatever small thing is getting in here. Oh, and by the way, here's a picture of what's supposed to be landscaping, and that's our sidewalk that you really can't pass through. And these are pumpkins that Troy was supposed to move before they got big. Welcome to the farm. So Camlin's going to drive us down to the old chicken coop that we are taking down, and we're going to use some of the fencing from that. We are down at the old chicken pasture that we had fenced in that was not working the way that we wanted it to. So you've seen videos in the past of where we are taking all this fencing down because we've moved them to the greenhouse. But here is, well, first of all, I just wanted to show you how grown up this was since we've been down here before. And we've taken all the fencing down on this side except for, well, here we've got some fencing on this end with the chicken wire at the top, which is what we use to make it a taller fence. And so on this side, on this creek side, you can see the creek down here, we've taken down all of the fencing from the bottom that we've used around our garden, and so we just came down to take this chicken wire down that is mostly down but is still attached in a couple places to the posts here. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. Okay, and now we'll just roll this up. Got to detach it here from the guide wire that we were using at the top here to hold that up. Cameron, you want to do that for me? Go down here, and wherever you see these wires, just undo those. I'll be working on some, you can work down there further. And we'll just use these pieces of wire to reattach it to the garden fence. Did you get it? You can leave the staple in. I don't need the staple. I just wanted it, the fence taken off. Okay, lay it down. Just go slowly, and I'm going to be unrolling it. Okay, stop. Stop a minute. Okay, go a little further. Slowly. Stop. Okay, a little further. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, stop right there. So what we're doing here is where our fence doesn't meet the ground, we're going to add chicken wire here. And I'm just going to clip it with some of the wire that we used, some electric fencing wire, just to wrap it around and do a tie off to completely close in the bottom of the fence. See, that needs to be wire tied so that that top line of the fence, it stays at the second. You see what I mean? You got to get it. You want to come down here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just taking pieces of the wire that we used on the fence down at the old pasture, and I'm just using that to simply attach this chicken wire on the bottom to the top part of the fence. Let me see how that looks here. I don't get to fall over. Okay. All right, let's do it to the third one up. And then if I need to come down, so go ahead and tie it right here, bud. Take that. Liam. Okay, so this is what you have to do. To get it to stay up there tight, you're going to come under this one and that one. And you're going to hold it up there, and you're going to start twisting it tight right there. And that'll hold it close to that. See what I mean?
Yes.
And then you can kind of fold that down so it doesn't get us. All right, go down about halfway between the two green posts, and let's do another one. Well, it's been a very hot day, and we just finished putting up the extra fencing around the bottom of the garden fence. So let me give you a look at what that looks like. So here is the chicken wire that we've added to the bottom of the fence. and hopefully that's going to help keep out the smaller animals. But we will see if Troy has any better recommendations or anything that we need to change about what we've done so far. But it's looking good, and I hope that this is good enough to deter these animals from coming into the garden. So we have all the fencing done. It was a very hot day for this job, but we're glad to have it finished, and we hope that it is going to be sufficient. Thanks for joining us.